Ju Kyung is the main actress in a series, and she was born with what people considered an unattractive appearance. She was so unattractive as a girl that when her parents took her for a walk in her stroller, everyone, including their neighbors, mistook her for a boy. It wasn't just her unattractiveness. Her sister, on the other hand, was quite pretty. During family reunions, relatives from both sides would argue about who Ju Kyung took after in terms of looks. Even children her age avoided being friends with her because of her appearance. So she spent most of her time at home from a young age, immersed in reading webtoons. One day, while reading a webtoon, she came across a story where the female protagonist used magical makeup to transform into a stunning beauty. Ju Kyung envied the protagonist and believed that she could do the same. She tried, but the results were far from what she had expected. Her unconventional makeup application drew mocking and ridicule from her friends. This left her feeling incredibly sad, embarrassed, and she hurried back home. Even Ju Kyung entered high school, but her unattractive appearance remained unchanged. Moreover, she always needs to wear glasses to see things clearly. In her classroom, there was a pretty girl named Semi, along with her friends, who continuously bullied Ju Kyung. Her nickname became Dumpling because Ju Kyung often bought dumplings for them in the canteen. There was another girl in the class who was similarly unattractive, and slowly they became friends. One day, Ju Kyung developed feelings for a guy who worked in the school's cafeteria. She believed that they could be together because they had a lot in common, including their music taste. That's why she prepared to confess her feelings to him. Ju Kyung baked cookies herself, arranged them nicely in a box, and included 2 tickets to a rock music festival along with a heartfelt love letter. In addition to her thoughtful gift, she had also learned to apply makeup and wore it to school that day. Unfortunately, Semi and her friends got wind of Ju Kyung's plan to confess because of Ju Kyung's friend, and they worked together to set a trap to ensure the guy would reject her. Tragically, the guy fell right into their trap and rejected Ju Kyung in a harsh manner. During this painful moment, Semi and her friends heartlessly recorded videos of her being rejected, but Ju Kyung's misfortune didn't end there. To her surprise, the person who took that video for Semi and her friends was none other than Ju Kyung's own friend. This was the breaking point for Ju Kyung. She wanted to know why she being treated like that. The harsh truth was due to one cruel factor, her perceived unattractiveness. When Ju Kyung heard the reason, she felt utterly helpless. That night, she found herself on top of a random tall building in her city, preparing to take her own life. As she hesitated on the edge of that wall, a random passerby suddenly appeared out of nowhere and spotted her. Acting quickly, he rushed over and pulled her away from the precipice, preventing her from ending her life. But Ju Kyung's glasses were knocked off and she couldn't see who saved her. Afterward, the person who had come to her rescue scolded her and then walked away on his own. Then they tried to use the elevator to go down, but it was malfunctioning, so they had to take the stairs. Ju Kyung, who couldn't see without her glasses, fell while descending by herself. So, the guy who saved her had to piggyback her down. When they arrived at the ground floor, they noticed that the elevator wasn't actually malfunctioning, but it had just completed its maintenance. On the other hand, Ju Kyung's father had taken out a loan for an investment that unfortunately turned out to be a scam. This left her mother furious, as they were now burdened with debt, so they needed to sell their current house and move back to their old one to pay off the debt. However, this unfortunate turn of events brought some unexpected good news for Ju Kyung because she needed to change schools due to the move. When she arrived at her new school with her makeup skills, she was greeted with admiration and praise from her fellow students, who saw her as a beauty angel. She quickly made 2 new friends, Soo-ah and Soo-jin. In the school, Soo-jin was the second most intelligent student, while the #1 spot was held by the school's king, Soo-ho. After school, Ju Kyung hung out with her new friends. Her life with makeup appeared to be thriving in her new surroundings. At night, Ju Kyung revisited the webtoon store that held fond memories from her youth. She was on the hunt for a new chapter of the webtoon, The Cursed Mask. When she was about to take it, there's someone who snatched the same episode from her, so she tried her best to take it back from him. Then she realized that this guy was none other than Soo-ho. Soo-ho, unaware of her true identity without her makeup, did recognize her as the person he had saved from the building. He tried to greet her in a friendly manner, but Ju Kyung misinterpreted his intentions. Believing that he recognized her and was about to reveal her secret, she begged him, offering to do anything he asked to keep her true identity hidden. One day, Ju-kyung was running low on her cosmetics, so she headed out to shop for new makeup products. However, on her way, she unexpectedly encountered Sammy and her friends. The sight of them triggered a traumatic reaction, causing her to panic and run away in a hurry. While she was sprinting away, she nearly collided with a passing bicycle. It was then that Ju-kyung noticed a group of guys chasing after the biker. The biker quickly got back on his feet, handed his helmet to Ju-kyung, and dashed off to escape his pursuers. The following day at school, Ju-kyung made a startling discovery. The biker who had given her his helmet was none other than bad boy Seo-jun, another prominent figure at the school, and it became apparent that these two kings of the school did not get along. Whenever Seo-jun and Soo-ho crossed paths, they engaged in heated confrontations and fights. However, the teachers tended to scold Soo-ho less because he was a diligent and clever student. When Seo-jun recognized Ju-kyung and asked for his helmet back, she reluctantly agreed to return it, citing rumors as her reason. Unfortunately, upon her return, she discovered that her brother had already sold the helmet on a website, and it was now sold out. So she has to apologize for what happened to the helmet. Seo-jun also noticed that Soo-ho seemed displeased with the fact that he and Ju-kyung were getting closer, so he decided to make a connection with her. One day, as Ju-kyung walked past the school's training room during preparations for the school festival, she came across a girl being bullied, so she stepped in to help. On the day of the festival, Ju-kyung encountered this girl again and took a moment to touch up her makeup, enhancing her appearance. Thanks to Ju-kyung's makeup skills, she looked stunning, and even Ju-kyung's brother falls for her. During a school trip that everyone was required to participate in, Soo-ho and Ju-kyung grew closer. They flirted with each other, took care of one another, and as time passed, their bond deepened. One day, Soo-ho bought a necklace to confess his feelings to Ju-kyung, encouraged by his friends. Meanwhile, Ju-kyung's sister and her classroom teacher found themselves falling for each other. Additionally, Soo-ho's childhood friend realized her feelings for Soo-ho, and Seo-jun gradually began to develop feelings for Ju-kyung. Soo-ho managed to confess his love to Ju-kyung, and they officially became a couple. At the same time, Soo-jin unexpectedly discovered Ju-kyung's secret about her real face. Soo-ho and Ju-kyung decided to keep their relationship a secret, due to the numerous girls at their school who had crushes on Soo-ho and were likely to become jealous. So they chose to date secretly in the webtoon store. During this time, a car accident involving Soo-ho and Seo-jun occurred. Ju-kyung secretly visited Soo-ho in the hospital. One day, Soo-jin noticed the necklace that Ju-kyung was wearing and realized it was a gift from Soo-ho. She decided to share her feelings about Soo-ho with Ju-kyung, hoping that by doing so, Ju-kyung would let Soo-ho go. However, when things didn't go as Soo-jin had expected, she joined forces with Sammy and her friends to expose Ju-kyung's true face. This cruel revelation left Ju-kyung deeply depressed. During this difficult time, Soo-ho stood by Ju-kyung and took care of her. Seo-jun also intervened by approaching Sammy and her friends to warn them to stop bullying her. Unfortunately, their problems were far from over. Soo-ho had to go abroad urgently due to his dad's unstable health condition, and he couldn't predict when he would be able to return to be with Ju-kyung. Not wanting her to wait indefinitely for his return, he made the difficult decision to break up with her. After their breakup, Ju-kyung decided to channel her energy into learning makeup skills professionally. During this challenging period, Seo-jun remained a steadfast presence by her side, offering support and encouragement. One day, Seo-jun gathered the courage to confess his feelings to Ju-kyung, considering it had been a significant amount of time since her last relationship. However, to his surprise, Ju-kyung had learned that Soo-ho had returned to Korea. Seo-jun recognized that they both still had feelings for each other and was determined to reunite them. Soo-jin also approached Ju-kyung to sincerely apologize for her previous actions. Ultimately, everything worked out. Soo-ho and Ju-kyung found their way back to each other, leading to a happy ending. This is a romance comedy Korean drama with a happy ending. If you're looking for something relaxing and enjoyable, this drama is worth a try. There are plenty of intriguing subplots, so I recommend watching the drama to explore them all.